Hello again. So, often martial arts sort of weapons are typically considered to be fairly impractical, more of a specialist thing for people who like that sort of aspect of martial arts. But in this video I'm going to show you 3 different ones that are actually still very useful to learn for actual practical self-defense reasons, and I'll explain that as I go into each one. So here are my 3 sort of martial arts weapons that are actually quite good to learn for the purposes of like street encounters or self-defense situations. So first one on our list is the Joe staff. Classic stick, about 4 foot in length, and it's sort of your typical kind of broom handle type stick, and the reason is because a lot of simple items are in a stick shape that you can just pick up if you're in a place that there are objects around that you can use to help defend yourself. If you find anything in a stick type shape, you can use Joe staff skills with it, striking or just long reach jabs, or even some of the more fancier techniques, but they're a bit like more impractical in a lot of different ways. You have to get quite lucky. So mainly just used to handling the weapon, how you can strike with it, how you can use it in different ways. The Joe staff is really good. I'll just show you an example of a random item that is similar to a Joe staff. So here's my random item, just a fork thingy, gardening tool. I mean, probably don't see many of these around, but any sort of thing like a broom handle, even if the broom head's still attached to it, you can still use it. It's a bit more awkward when it's weighted heavily on one side, but still use it. Anything like this. Obviously with something like this, you might want to actually consider this way, even though you would be in a self-defense situation, you'd probably be quite scared for yourself, but you don't want to like kill someone in the process accidentally by stabbing them in the throat with this or anything. But just any old item in a stick shape is great for learning. A Joe staff is great for helping out. Use any sort of weapon like this to help defend yourself. Okay, so second up we have this, your Wara, or a Kabuto as it's also named, and it's essentially just, this is a metal one that's dead easy. You can just carry it around with you. You can get one like this, you can just hook onto your keys and you can take it off, or just still use it with the keys on if you really need to. It's one of those things you can easily carry around with you or just pick up, because it's just a short stick. You can just anything that's relatively hard, and this sort of shape, it just enhances top and bottom fist techniques pretty much. Mainly bottom fist. You mainly typically use it like this, thumb on top, okay? And it, while bottom fist does hurt a lot, it greatly reduces the surface area of the impact, and it's a lot more solid as well, so it's going to hurt a lot more because the surface area is that much smaller. It concentrates the force into a smaller area, and it's just going to do a lot more damage, especially if you know good points to strike with it, if you're used to handling it. And of course top fist as well, you can get it in there, get it like that. So I'm just going to show an example of some random items that you might think of using with one of these. So I've actually got 2 for this one. One is a pen, just a little pen. Pens are everywhere. It's stationary. You can go Jason Bourne style and stab him in the hand with the pen. But it still works. Solid. It's not going to break because you're hitting it down that way. It's going to do a lot of damage. And also another one, I've got a second one, just a brush, random brush. Hold it like this, and that's going to seriously hurt if you whack someone with this. So it's a great little option if you're used to handling one of these weapons for self-defense, because random little objects like this, perfect size to just fit in your hand like that, it works really well. So this last one might be a little bit of a surprise in some ways, but it's actually the Katana, primarily the Bokken form of the Katana, because as I'll explain, it's more about being comfortable handling a stick type weapon of about this sort of length, so shorter than the Joe staff type length, but longer than a Kabuto Yawara type length. It's like the in-between range, being comfortable with handling it, this sort of weapon, and used to how to use it. And you'd obviously not do strikes in the same way, because when you use an actual katana you sort of strike and then draw through like that, but you're not going to be doing that with a stick. Obviously you're just going to get used to striking with two hands and using how to generate power from this position, or how to parry and then strike with a stick pretty much of this typical sort of length around there. So that's why katana, or just a bokken particularly, just using that and getting comfortable with it and learning how you can use it in different ways, different types of strikes or parries, different ways of gripping it and everything, can actually be really useful. I'll just show you a random item that I found to demonstrate that. Here it is, just literally a broken off bit of a stick. I think it was a broom, something. It's just snapped off. It's not as long, you can see it's not as long, but it's still is too weird to have like a Kabuto, and obviously not big enough for a Joe staff. So being comfortable with this and knowing how to really like generate power quickly and how parry and stuff is very similar to using a sword or a katana, and it is useful to learn those skills so you can easily adopt them to random items of this sort of size and shape, and it's just a good useful one to have if you need to pick up random items in your environment to help out with the self-defense scenario. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed, and hope the concept of learning martial arts weapons actually for practical reasons as well kind of helped sort of stir up your thoughts a little bit. And if you learned anything new or just enjoyed it, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And also I just made an ebook recently, last month I came out with it, so there'll be a link for that in the description as well if you're interested in it. It's all about fitness, how you can sort of as a beginner start learning elements of fitness and tie them directly to martial arts rather than just going on some random generic fitness thing. Fitness that actually targets martial arts maneuvers and movements and things like that. So if you're interested in that, please have a look. Other than that, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you next time.